On New Year's Day at 2:11 p.m. I received a call from the hospital. I didn't pick it up. I still wish that I did. When I called them back, I got the news that my Auntie Feenie was in the hospital. So Victor, Sarah, and I stopped what we were doing to go see her that night. This continued for a couple weeks, and I drove to see her every few days. On the morning of January 15th at 6:44 a.m., I got a call from my dad. Auntie Feenie had passed. I remember sitting down and trying to digest the news. Staring into space, it almost felt like time didn't exist. I didn't leave the apartment until 7 p.m. that day. It just didn't make sense to me, and although all the signs were there that she would be passing soon, it still hit me hard. That's the thing about the passing of a loved one. You can never really be ready for it. You can be given the exact date and time that it's going to happen, and still you won't be ready. You can be given an extra year, and still you'll wish you had more. My Auntie Feenie is an incredible lady. She lived in Denver, Colorado. Every time I go there, it makes me think of her. She didn't live in the best neighborhood, but she still saw the good in it. Sometimes she'd take us driving downtown, and she'd save coupons to use for when Victor and I visited. This really showed how thoughtful and caring she was. She carried immense pride in the Zamora name. She would tell anybody and everybody who would listen all about her family history, dating back to its origin in Spain. She had bookshelves documenting our family history. She valued family over everything, but to Auntie Feenie, family didn't only mean blood. As a teacher, her emphasis on family shone bright. She was visited by many of her former students in the hospital, people who were no longer her students but were now a part of her family. It was incredible to see how widespread her impact was and how many people rushed over to see her once they heard the news. There was often a line to see Auntie Feenie when I visited, and some of the nurses and doctors became exhausted with just how many visitors she had. She loved her family, and they loved her back just as much. On her first night at the hospital, Petita, her student, decided to stay with her. Auntie Feenie, who had just had a stroke and a heart attack that day, asked multiple times if Petita had a blanket because she didn't want her to be cold. She loved her family maybe even more than herself. As an aunt, Auntie Feenie showed me tough love. She didn't say I love you a whole lot, though she always made sure that I knew. She pushed me to do more, which at first I didn't understand. As a kid, I would sometimes be annoyed by it, but as I grew older, I realized that it was out of pure belief in me. A few years back, I got a job as a bagger at a grocery store. Pretty boring job. But to Auntie Feenie, it was not. She'd always ask me questions about which groceries go together, how many groceries go in a bag. I started to gain more responsibility in that job, and Auntie Feenie thought this was the coolest. Every time we talked, she'd ask me about my job. Then the day came when I quit my job to pursue my passion, which understandably didn't make a lot of sense to most people. Auntie Feenie wasn't one of those people. She was excited for me and told me she knew that I could do it. That belief she always had in me gave me so much confidence, sometimes in moments when I didn't have a whole lot of it. I will always take that with me. The last thing she told me I'll remember forever. She wrote on a piece of paper 2 words: good thoughts. She didn't want us to be sad. She didn't want us to feel bad for her. She wanted us to keep good thoughts, to remember all the good times we had. In her final moments, she wanted to make sure that we all remained positive and that we all kept the good thoughts. And she definitely gave us a whole lot of those.
You have called a number that is on the National Do Not Call Registry. All solicitors hang up. Everyone else who knows me, leave a message. Thank you.
Hey Auntie Feenie, I guess this is gonna be last phone call to you, and I'll be honest, it kind of hurts. But I'll say I am so excited because I can't imagine the fantastic reunion that you're having up there at this point. Hopefully you had a chance to say hey to Grandma, Grandpa who I didn't know, Uncle Carl. If you ever get a chance to stop by and say hey from the other side, please do. we will all catch you on the other side at some point. All right, love you.
Hi, Auntie Feenie. If you can hear us, if you can hear me, I just want to say that it's been so wonderful having you in my life. I'm definitely going to miss all the emails we sent each other back and forth. It was your way of texting because you did not own a cell phone, and I thought that was pretty clever. And I'm going to miss hearing you call us because I have this special ringtone every time you called. It's the Star Wars ringtone, and it just so happens that Star Wars is one of your favorite movies. Anyway, I know you're doing fantastic. We're going to miss you. We love you very much. And we're going to keep you close to our heart. Thank you for all the wonderful memories.
Auntie Feenie is a huge reason I moved out from Colorado to Virginia, and I cannot thank her enough for that because I'm so happy out here. I love it every day. She taught me to go for what you believe in. And no matter what anybody else thinks, as long as you fully believe in it, as long as you are fully behind yourself, that's all you need. She taught me to be proud of myself, do things every day that I'm gonna be proud of myself for. She taught me to keep my chin up. You know, she was never down on me. Even when I was the most down on myself and it seemed like everybody else was down on me, she never was. She taught me how to be happy. And that is something that I carry with me every day, and I hope she knows how thankful I am for it.
Hi everybody, this is the Midway family, and first of all I want to send condolences to the friends and family of Auntie Feenie.
Our most memorable moment of her was this past Thanksgiving when we got to spend some time with her, just kind of catching up on things that we did. 2 days later, we had her over our house, and so that was it's kind of nice that she was able to spend time then. And I just, remember her as one of those people that was just easy to warm up to. She's very genuine, sincere, and very humble. I asked her one day if we can call her Auntie Feenie, and she was very ecstatic about that. From that point on, we called her Auntie Feenie.
I remember one of my most favorite memories about Aunt Feenie and I was us in the car trip, and we were driving for 4 hours, and we talked a lot during that time. We went to stores and bought all the snacks I could get. It was really a good memory to remember.
During that 4-hour drive from Fruta, at the end of the trip, she turned to Devin and asked, "Are we friends now?" And Devin had a big smile on his face, and I guess that made her feel good. So we'll definitely remember her very well, and we'll definitely miss her.
I know that you're curious, I know that you're strong, but life can be furious and things can go wrong. You go, we're better off tomorrow, but who knows if we get joy or sorrow. Stay true to that fire in your heart and your soul. Don't drench your desire in what you can't control. We fly, try so hard to get there, and we might be lost but not forever. There's things in life you simply need to know, but sun and rain and trust in letting go. It takes a bit of suffering, sleepless nights and wandering, before you make it safely to the end, the end, the end. Don't say you're ridiculous, you're not even close. Don't wish for indifference, you're not one of those. We fall, but we always rise up through it all, it all. We get a little wiser. There's things in life you simply need to know, but sun and rain and trust in letting go. It takes a bit of suffering, sleepless nights and wondering, before you make it safely to the end, the end, the end. And if you ever wonder, there is nothing wrong with a little thunder. There's things in life you simply need to know, about sun and rain and trust in letting go. It takes a bit of suffering, sleepless nights and wandering, before you make it safely to the end, the end. There's things in life you simply need to know, about sun and rain and trust in letting go. It takes a bit of suffering, sleepless nights and wandering, before you make it safely to the end. Before you make it safely to the end, the end, the end.